the top 10 commander cards from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. You love us. We're here every day, and if you want to see even more of us, there's a Patreon that you can go to. Support us through the Patreon of any tier, and guess what? Now you're seeing extra Nitpicking Nerds videos that you literally cannot see anywhere else.
That's right. For only $2 a month, you could be watching 4 extra Nitpicking Nerds videos a month. Plus, there's a backlog. There's 2 videos sitting on there right now. Go watch them, or else, it's fine too.
You're missing out.
Yeah, you are missing out. If you want to support yourself while supporting nerds, you can go to coolstuffinc.com and get 5% off your order using code
Nerds.
And if you use code
Nerds,
then you will be supporting the
Nerds.
Yes. Cool Stuff Inc. is an amazing site that has all your magic needs. Dragon Shield is a card sleeve. They have the best sleeves in the multiverse.
Good sleeves.
And we use them on literally every single one of our decks. Seriously, we can't get enough of Dragon Shield. And if you want to use our EU and US links in the description below, you be supporting the
Nerds. There's a Maraschiello ad coming up. You're not going to be able to guess where it is. If you do, you cheated.
Exactly. Maraschiello is awesome. Get ready for the wrath. Happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is today. And this video is sponsored by something amazing that's going on. It's Pride Month. You all know it's Pride Month. And it's also Lord of the Rings Pride Month, so Super Pride Month.
Mega Pride Month.
Super Pride Month. Pride playmats are available. That's right. There's a new Kickstarter going on right now. You guys remember that Secret Lair last year that had all those amazing arts? We have Bearscape. Ooh, we have Collective Voyage. We have Heartbeat of Spring. All of these.
Mana Confluence.
All these awesome things. You can get them right now by going and supporting and backing this Kickstarter. And just when you thought it couldn't get better, because all those arts are amazing. Like, look at that Bearscape. That Bearscape is Chef's Kiss. It also has a soul ring. Oh, Chef's Kiss. But just when you thought it couldn't get better, it does get better because you will be supporting the Trevor Project charity while buying an awesome playmat for yourself. So you go there, you get this amazing playmat, and what do they get, Beezy? They get to support charity. They get to feel good about themselves and get a playmat that looks awesome. Also, probably the best one, we haven't mentioned it, but Alesha Who Smiles at Death, that art is so good. It's another one of those that with the art, without saying a single word, tells an entire story. It's so good. It's so beautiful.
Yes. The many things are good, as Joe has stated in this package. So you can definitely go to the link in the description and definitely check it out because you're missing out on all this Pride. Awesomeness.
Pride.
Awesomeness.
Yes, you're missing out on all
awesomeness.
The Pride Month awesomeness or goodness. Because for goodness sakes, we got to move on, or I'm going to say good.
I will end the video.
But guess what? The top 10 cards from the entire Lord of the Rings set. This includes the Commander product. Mm-hmm. This includes the regular set. These are the top 10 cards. And all these cards are actually good.
Yeah, if you want the cliff notes of what to look for all of these 300 million cards that are coming out, this is probably the video for you.
Yes, this is an incredibly flavorful set. It looks amazing. The art is amazing. The Commander decks are amazing. We're going to be doing videos for this for next week, so you're going to be seeing lots of videos all about this. This is our very first one. Get excited. Lord of the Rings is amazing. I'm a huge fan. Beezy, not so much, but it doesn't matter. He loves Magic the Gathering, and he is super excited to talk about Magic cards. So let's hop right into it. What's the first one, Beezy?
Well, it's Flames of Aenor. 1 blue-red for an instant. Choose 1. If you control a wizard as you cast a spell, you choose 2 instead. Draw 2 cards, deal 5 to a creature, or destroy an artifact. So it's a 3-mana instant. It's always going to cash in as Divination, but if you have a wizard, which is probably just your commander, or you're playing a wizard deck, then you're just going off.
Yeah, exactly. Putting Divination at instant speed does give this card a huge boost. If this card was a sorcery, it'd be terrible. But we get to hold this up. And like you said, is your commander is a wizard or you're playing a wizard tribal deck, either one of those things, you can reliably say, I'll have a wizard on the battlefield during the game. This card gets really, really good. The rate for Divination is bad. Like, it's not what we're looking for. But we can hold this up. It's a removal spell when we need it in 2 different ways. It's basically a braid. It does a little braid oppression where it can get rid of our artifact or it can do the thing. It can even end up doing both. I really like that this card is so versatile in always being able to have the fallback of, I can get 2 cards. Wizard, commander.
Yeah, you don't need a wizard deck. You just need a wizard commander, really. And also, I will not be pronouncing some of this correctly because I know about 3 things about Lord of the Rings, and I have very little interest to learn more, but these are awesome Magic cards, so I'm going to treat them like that.
And I'm going to be, and to be fair, I'm terrible at just pronouncing things. And even though I've seen all the movies multiple times, I will pronounce stuff wrong still because...
Maybe we'll do it on purpose, just to trip you up.
It definitely is not on purpose. I promise I'm just bad at pronouncing. All right, let's go on to number 9, and this is Last March of the Ents. 6, green, for a sorcery. This spell cannot be countered. You draw cards equal to the biggest toughness among creatures you control. Then you can put any number of creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. So we're going to look to have a huge butt on the battlefield, draw like 6, 7, 8 cards, and then as many creatures as we feel we need to put, we're going to put directly from hand onto the battlefield, making us a huge threat.
This card just reads like a joke. You're like, what? Where's the downside of it? Like, what? This isn't real. What's the stipulation? Like, no, you can just cast it whenever and cheat your biggest things into play. If anything, if you have anything that costs more than 8 and you draw more than 1 card, you're cheating mana.
Exactly, yeah. This card is really silly good. And the simple fact of the matter is we're going to have lots of decent-sized butts. This is really good in decks like Golta, which is obviously the extreme example, but that already just naturally have big butts. Like Golta is known for her ginormous butt. So
I don't know. You don't even need to get like you just put this in green decks, right? I don't even care about the toughness. Like if you have creatures with 6 toughness in your deck, I think you just play this card, right?
Yeah, it's so strong. It's just like Rishkar's Expertise, but this time when you like Rishkar's Expertise already good, cheats 1 card afterward. All right, let's pay 2 extra mana.
All of them.
Literally any number of creatures. I mean, if you have something like what is the card? Terror of the Peaks, like you're playing a green-red deck. Okay, good luck losing after that. You're going to wipe the whole board and just this card will make you a threat because it is so strong.
It just seems like it'll end the game. Like I almost like drawing cards is like only useful because you're going to find creatures to deploy. Like if you have a haste enabler or something, the game's just over. It doesn't matter that I have 3 extra cards in my hand that are like spells. All the creatures I'm going to throw out and you're going to die.
Yes, it's super important though. Something to remember with cards, if they give you both card advantage and mana advantage, those cards are ridiculous. Those cards are always very, very strong.
Historically powerful Magic cards. This is also a powerful Magic card, Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, there's actually 2 of them, so it's Bowmasters. It's 1 and a black for a 1/1 flash, and when it enters the battlefield and when an opponent draws extra cards besides the first one each turn, it deals 1 to any target and you amass Orcs 1, which means if you don't have an army, you get an army with a counter on it.
Yeah, this thing can ping off things as it goes. Anyone who's drawing more than 1 card, that's going to give you a bunch of these triggers so that you can start shooting a lot of things off. It'll build up a giant creature. That's not really what we're worried about. It's that this is like free removal just from your opponents playing the game. Though I want to say, Orcish Bowmasters, not that great of Bowmasters. They don't even have reach.
Yes, they don't have reach, and there's 2 of them, but they're 1/1. I don't understand. I guess it's because they're always 2 mana for 2 bodies. So like you get 2 mana for 2 bodies and deal 1 to something, and then it just keeps going. So if you can sacrifice the orc and make more orcs, or just keep amassing and growing the same orc, because if you already have one, it just gets bigger. This thing is kind of just does a lot of stuff. I know it's going to be a CDH nightmare. I don't know if it's going to be that good in a regular commander. It's probably just going to, like, it doesn't ask anything of you, so you can play it all over the place. It's going to be good, right?
I would love yeah, it's going to be good for sure.
Give it Death Touch.
The place I want to put, yes, giving it Death Touch is ridiculous, but the place I want to play this specifically is my Aristocrats decks because I want to sacrifice that off the Amass token to get a new Amass token whenever these draws are happening, which makes this card much, much stronger.
Yeah, so we're talking like in certain decks, it's going to be one of the cards you see, and you just go, oh, what are we supposed to do?
We talked about with Fairy Mastermind. Your opponents, if there's 2 scenarios, either your opponents aren't drawing cards and you're winning the game, or your opponents are drawing cards and you're getting advantage.
You're killing all their stuff off.
Both of those are pretty awesome to get.
What's number 7?
Well, it's Horn of the Mark. It's a 2-mana legendary artifact. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom in a random order. This card is just really, really good. It's a 2 mana. It's generic artifact and go in really any one of our decks. All we have to do is attack with 2 creatures, and we look at the top 5. So not only are this is like a draw.
It's a lot of looks.
You look pretty deep. You're almost guaranteed in your creature-based decks to hit a creature.
I mean, if you have 20 creatures in your deck, you could probably hit off this. That's not even going to happen because you're going to play like 35 creatures in your deck, but this is just a ton of selection for like no mana, and it replaces itself right away, so it gets around the Phyrexian Arena problem.
Yeah, this card is really, really good. Like you said, it does get around the Phyrexian Arena, and it's always drawing gas. This is not drawing us lands. This is drawing us creatures to play out, which can be a downside if you do need lands, but it is giving us gas every single time, and getting that card right away is so important. Plus, this is only 2 mana. You could throw, this is colorless. Why is this card colorless? It can go in any single deck. I would expect this card to be like green. I really like this horn. I think this thing is just really, really good.
Yep, we're going to go to number 6, which is Elven Chorus. It's a 4-mana enchantment. You can play creatures from the top, and your creatures tap for rainbow mana.
Okay, this card is silly. What is going on with this card? We talked about recently, like maybe a week ago, how Cryptolith Right is an amazing Magic card, worth it. Okay, what if Cryptolith Right also, we're back to this, gave you that mana advantage, and then, oh, wait a minute, it gives you the card advantage too.
Yeah, they like stapled Cryptolith Right to like Ranger class, but they leveled it up for you. It's kind of even having a comparison because 4 mana feels pretty cheap for this. Elf Ball decks are just going to go ham.
Yeah, if you have 4 creatures on the battlefield, you immediately get your mana back from this. This card is so strong. All you have to be doing is, just like we've talked about with a lot of these cards, play a decent creature deck. You got a 30 creature count, bam, this card can go in. It's going to be amazing. Tokens decks are going to absolutely fall in love with this card. When I read this card, I was surprised at how good it was.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be a 35 creature deck for this. It's kind of like Cryptolith Right, but every once in a while you'll draw cards off of it. Like, okay, cool. And then also you're going to have like combo turns similar to like Bolas's Citadel, where you have creatures that give haste, or you have a haste enabler out, and now your creatures are casting creatures, but you're casting creatures, and you could have even like ways to scry or something, or surveil so that you can put lands in the bin.
I can't state enough how important it is when a card gives mana and card advantage. It just makes these cards...
Yeah, we had another one.
It just makes these cards absurdly good.
Yeah, we have another absurdly good card. Technically, mana advantage, but it's because they're lands. These are 5 lands that enter untapped if you can control a legendary creature. Seems pretty easy in our format, but they also have other abilities that are like useful, so these lands are just going to be... You already know we're super high on them. If they enter untapped most of the time, and they do anything that isn't basic Plains ability, we're in.
So these cards are great, but what keeps them at number 5 is they will enter tapped some amount of the time. And because they will enter tapped some amount of the time, that is a decent drawback. We don't like tap lands, but we're playing Commander. Everyone has a Commander. We're going to have these lands come in untapped a decent amount of the time. Plus, you can always pick and choose the turns you play your tap lands in a lot of situations when you minimize on them.
Yes, we have Minas Tirith, which lets you draw cards if you attack people. Rivendell lets you scry. Barad Dur lets you amass orcs. That's probably the worst one, but they're all just kind of free if they enter untapped, right? They're just untapped lands that do other things. Mines of Moria lets you make treasures, and the Shire gives you food token.
Yeah, they all ask you to do a little bit of a jumping through a little tiny hoop, and then they give you this ability. These abilities are all at great rates. They're very strong. I am beyond happy to put these 1 and 2 color decks. This is another example of a card what BZ's going to talk about. This is the 1 color Feel the Dead cards that just get 1 color closer, and it's slowly
I'm getting closer. I have a monocolor Feel the Dead deck, and I'm just getting more and more juice.
I mean, Minas Tirith
is the best one, right?
It's the best one, and it's already, your mono white deck is already in love with that card, already wants it. All right, now it's another land name.
They thought I was crazy.
Well, to be fair, you were. Just because you're right now, doesn't mean that you were right in the past.
Nope. I'm gonna ride it to the bank, baby. Yeah, these lands are great. If you have early creatures, like if your commander is like 1, 2, or 3 mana, just play these cards.
All right, let's move on to number 4. It's Moxfield.com, the best deck building website there is in the multiverse, in the universe, any form of universe.
The cosmos.
The cosmos, even if there's more than the cosmos, the double cosmos.
I don't think there can be.
No.
I think the cosmos just is all that exists, right?
Doesn't matter. The triple cosmos.
The triple cosmos.
So in the triple cosmos, which is actually, that covers everything now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best. No, that doesn't exist. This is the best deck building website. We've been using it for every single one of our decks. If you want to check out, how about our Golta Precon that we built last week? Oh yeah, you can still go look at that deck, see that deck list, and if you're like, I really like that, you can also win it, which is super cool. Moxfield.com is where you can see every single one. Go check out my crappy CDH list and tell me how bad it is.
I don't think you want them to do that.
What? I don't care.
There is a commenting feature, though, because Moxfield is super useful, so if you don't use it, I gotta tell you, you're missing out. Even though we're sponsored and like promoting it, you're still missing out. Yeah. We only sponsor the best stuff.
Yeah, the best
stuff sponsors us.
The best stuff sponsors us. That is what you wanted to say. All right. Let's move on to this number 4. Actually, this card's ridiculous.
It's silly, and I'm surprised it's number 4.
Because this is strong.
This set's pretty good.
It's a strong set combined with the fact that this is also just.
Yeah, I think you just meant it's a strong set.
It's a strong set. It's Dawn of a New Age. 1 of the white for an enchantment. It enters the battlefield with a hope counter for each creature you control. At the beginning of your end step, remove a hope counter from it and draw a card. And then if there's no hope counters left, you sacrifice it and gain 4 life. That last part doesn't even matter.
Okay.
The simple fact of the matter is, if we even have like 3 creatures in play, this 2-mana enchantment comes down. And then for the next 3 turns in the rest, we'll be drawing cards. This is a Phyrexian Arena type variant, but it's only 2 mana, and I cannot stress this enough.
It's basically not a Phyrexian Arena variant because it gives you a card right away.
Yeah, but I think it's so important to like distinguish this. Getting that card right away is what makes these cards so good compared
when you pass the turn, this thing's not gonna get blown up and have you be down a card.
Exactly. You will be even on cards. Now, obviously, there is always the chance that they'll destroy it before you're on step. That'll happen some small percentage of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll accept
counter
that.
spells exist.
Yeah, counter spells exist. Removal does exist. But this card will get you card advantage. It sits on the battlefield. It just gets worth. And then when it's done, getting all of its value, it's like, oh, here's 4 life to go with it.
Yeah, we were okay. We were trying out like I forget what it's called. Like there's a reinforcements card from like Brothers War. It's like 5 mana, and at your end step you draw a card if you have 2 or more creatures. This is sorry, I'm never playing that card again because now we just have a 2 mana version. It's like way better.
Any go wide deck, this card gets ridiculous really fast just in your token stack. This can literally get so many counters on it that, like, if you have like 5 or 6 counters, this card is just not running out, right? It's like, what turn did you play it? Well, probably if you have 5 creatures, you probably played it in turn at least 4. The games don't really go past turn 9 super often, so this card sometimes will just come down and be like, for the rest of the game, you will draw an extra card at the end step.
It's like the Monarch. The only thing about this card that, like, okay, this is a really good card, but it's not broken. Turn 2, turn 3, this doesn't really do anything. You might cantrip or divination or something, but you kind of have to set up a board, right? You can't just play it and win the game.
Yes.
So it does require something of you.
Very, very well-designed card because, like you said, it's not broken in every single situation, but it's very, very good in a lot of them.
Yeah, most of the time, it's going to be really good. And so is the Blackgate, which enters untapped if you pay 3 life and it makes black, and then you can pay 1 in a black to make a creature not be able to block by somebody who has the highest life, which is just the same as making a creature unblockable as long as you're sending it someone's way. Yeah, what's the downside of this card again?
Nothing. This card is ridiculous. You pay that 3 life when you need to get this untapped land. It can come untapped if you don't want it to pay that 3 life. Also, that's also an option. And then this is just like a Rogue's Passage toward the highest life player,
which dethrone.
Yeah, and it's super good because it's only 1 in a black. Activating Rogue's Passage's biggest downside is it's like a 5 mana activation. 3 mana activation? That's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's just, this is like, Dawn of a New Age is really powerful, and, all these cards are really powerful, but it's just like, when this cycle of 1 color lands, and the Blackgate just go in like every 1 and 2 color deck, I'm just going to play, like, the Blackgate. I'm probably going to need like 4 of them when the set comes out, because it's just already just going to retroactively slot into any deck that was playing Swamp and didn't need an extra basic.
1 and 2 color decks. That's the main thing.
This card is just a super staple.
1 color lands that come in untapped and do more are such free rolls. They're so strong, and we can't stop pushing them. We get them like every 3 sets, and we tell you every single time these come out, these are amazing. Your mono black Field of the Dead deck, get this in.
Yeah, you're now playing Field of the Dead instead of Cabal Coffers, which I think is way more interesting. Not the best power choice, but you should do it.
Yes. This card's absurd. It really is just
It's
absurd.
just obvious to see, right? Like, to me, I don't even feel like I need to explain. It's like, hey, what if your Swamp did other stuff? Cool. I'd love to play that.
All right. This is one of the first cards spoiled for this set, and people have been talking about it since that day.
It's pretty good.
And they're right to talk about it because this card is just ridiculous. This is Delighted Halfling. It's a green for a 1/2, and it taps for a generic mana, or it taps for a color for any legendary, and then that legend can't be countered.
It's like a Cavern of Souls, but also the baseline is strictly better Boreal Druid, I guess, if you don't care about snow.
We're playing Commander. We always have a Commander, a legendary creature. We don't want countered. This card is silly good. Boreal Druid was already a good playable card. This is like 10 times better than Boreal Druid. I don't know what is going on. I don't know where this card came from. Love it. Put it in your decks. This can literally be slotted into almost any other than maybe like 4 and 5 color green decks, 3 and less color green decks. Free roll.
But
Free roll.
4 and 5 color legend decks still just goes in.
Of course.
Yeah.
This card just has so many homes. It is generically ridiculous, and it's so awesome to make your commander uncounterable. That's the key to your deck, right? That's what you built your whole deck around, and now it's not counterable.
Yeah, if you asked me what the best creature in the Lord of the Rings set was, I probably wouldn't say some happy dude. I don't really know if that's the best flavor win, but that is not the number one card in the set. It's just the best creature in the set.
Happy. Yeah. Happy. It's Happy Halfling.
Happy guy.
Happy Halfling.
Wow, Happy Guy is real good. The best card in the set is, in fact, a land. It's Mountain Doom, and it is untapped. It's legendary, so that doesn't matter to us at all. It might even be an upside. It says, pay a life, add black or red. So it's a paying land, and you pay 1 black red to ping each opponent for 1. And here's more. 5 black red tap, sacrifice it, and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. Your Sulphurous Mire just gave you a board wipe.
Yes, you have to play. I would, if I'm putting this kind of a deck, put 1 legendary artifact.
Maybe now, 2, you know?
Yeah, my main go-to one, the first one I think of off the top of my head, Sword of the Animus. That is a legendary artifact. If you're not playing green, it could already be in any one of those decks.
Or just like a legendary artifact creature.
Also, I love the flavor of it not like so. The whole point is like, hey, you do this with the 1 ring, and then Frodo and Sam escape. Yeah, those are the 2 that get away in the end. Which cool, great flavor. But the idea of any other legendary, it's like I threw in Nissa's sword,
and then Shieldred and Fibblethip got away.
Yeah, Shieldred and Fibblethip escaped. It was unbelievable. Even funnier if you do a team-up card, Borborygmos and Fibblethip.
And
Frodo got away. Frodo got away.
I was just going to say the other Fibblethip.
Fibblethip, Borborygmos, and Fibblethip got away.
It's they all got away. Anyway, yeah, they gave you a pain land, and there's untapped. It's going to deal 3 to 5 damage to you over the course of the game. If you have things like Yavimaya or Urborg, Urborg's going to be in this deck guaranteed. I don't even care what else is in there. Doesn't matter because you can just tap it as a swamp, and you don't have to pay the life for it. And it just pings opponents if you need that to happen, if you need them to lose life for some reason. If they're dwindling, this can chip in the last couple of points. It's just extra text on a dual land.
Exactly. This taps for red. This taps for black. Now,
what more can I ask for?
I will say this has a tangible downside. I have sometimes cards like Mana Confluence do come with a cost where they actually start adding up at the end. It doesn't change the fact that this is an auto include in every single red-black deck that has at least 1, if not 2, legendary artifacts.
Yeah, I mean, depends, though, because if you just care about pinging, you can just forget the last mode and pretend it doesn't exist, and you just have a red-black land that pings sometimes. Like Rakdos, they'll just take a land that pings people.
This card is very, very good. I mean, I as soon as I saw this card, I'm like, this is untapped, dual land. Okay, it has more text. Obviously, it's going to be
It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of text, and it's weird because like Delight of Halfling and Mount Doom were like some of the first things spoiled.
And also Mount Doom, a land. You're gonna cut any. So let's just say Canyon Slough.
Cut a Temple of Malice.
I cut Canyon Slough, Tempest of Malice.
Yeah.
Got that on my deck, and now I played Mount Doom, and now it can be the game-winning play because this card is ridiculous. It's not just a board wipe. Board wipes are great. Mm-hmm. It leaves you with 2 creatures. This card is absurd.
Yeah, it's 8 mana board wipe that can kill somebody if your creatures are big enough. They can't block. They don't have any.
Yeah, and this is just the first video in the series. Many more are coming.
Many more long videos.
Yeah, many more long videos. So the set review's over there. Unless you're watching this as it came out, then the set review's not over there, so you can't watch it yet. So click on that video that is just randomly suggested.
Who knows what it'll be?
Who knows what it could be? It could be anything. Click it. Peace out, Tribe Scouts.